can still win this. First, Libertarian vice presidential candidate Wayne Allen Root. He's been dead set against this from the beginning. Your worst fears, I guess, realize, Wayne, because these banks are taking the money. No commitment to lend that money. What happens?
Yeah, I called it, Neil. I've been on your show, 3 times in the last 3 weeks, really with doom and gloom, and I hate to be a doom and gloomer. That's not my personality. I'm an upbeat, optimistic guy, but I was on when the stock market had closed up about, 700-800 points, one of the biggest up days in the history of Wall Street, and every guest before me had been flying on about how wonderful things were. We turned it all around, and the bailout worked. And what did I say to you? I said, I don't want to be doom and gloom, but, this is not the way things are going to be in the future. It's one good up day, and we're destined for some real bad down days, and that's exactly what I see. There's no preconditions on this. The banks don't have to loan it out. Basically what we've done is it's the greatest redistribution without Barack Obama involved, with George Bush involved, and John McCain voting yes, the greatest distribution or redistribution from American taxpayers to banks.
I think we had twin ills on the market today. If we could take a look at the big board guides and show this better than 209-point fall off today. The first was growing doubt about whether that money will ever be lended out, even though it's being parceled out very generously. And then this late-day Ted Stevens news that the Alaska senator was likely going to be facing a guilty charge on all counts, and that escalated as that rumor got out. In other words, that Republicans, the ink is stained here, that they're going to have big problems a week from tomorrow. How much of a factor do you think these are on the markets right now?
Oh, huge factor, Neil, huge. I mean, look, the reason I left the Republican Party 2 years ago was that the Republican Party left me. It became the party of greed. They sold out from the taxpayers to the lobbyists and the lawyers and big corporations, big oil, big pharmaceuticals, big farms, defense contractors. And Stevens of Alaska is just one single great example of what's happened. It's not the people that matter anymore to either the GOP or the Democrats. Look at Barack Obama. Let's not give him a pass. His coffee years were filled by Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and then the Libertarian Party, me and Bob Barr. How much contributions do we get from the big Wall Street corporations or the banks? We don't. Defense contractors don't give us any contributions. We're not owed or owned by anyone, and therefore we can look out for the taxpayers. Well, I think you give us 4 years.
You might have a good pitch there, but it might be falling too little too late. It's always been a very good pitch, but you know how that goes, Wayne. But
well, listen, I'm not
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but let me ask you this. If the markets continue to swoon on concerns about the financial system, as well as concerns about the upcoming election and that we're going to go entirely the other way, whether that you deem that to be a good or a bad thing, what does this say about what we can have to look forward to?
Well, when you say go the other way, I think it's from capitalism to socialism and Marxism. We've now got socialism under Republican George Bush with a bailout bill that nationalizes our banks and Wall Street, and now we'll go all the way to Marxism with our good friend Barack Obama. And I think the best thing that can happen to an alcoholic is that you got to hit rock bottom before you can ever turn it around. And the best thing that could ever happen in this country may very well, I'm sad to say, be the Marxism of Barack Obama. 4 years of redistribution of our wealth, killing the job creators, destroying the successful people, punishing success, Neil. And I think 4 years from now, America will be in a great mood for a real political revolution, a new Barry Goldwater, and I hope that's me in the Libertarian Party.
All right, we shall see, Wayne. Thank you in the meantime. Now, as we just touched on before we got here, guilty, the verdict in for the longest-serving Republican senator, Alaska's Ted Stevens.